Now back to Inside West Virginia Politics with Mark Curtis.
And welcome back to Inside West Virginia Politics, where we're featuring the candidates for the District 3 congressional seat here in West Virginia. We've already heard from Republican Carol Miller for 2 segments. Time now for equal time with State Senator Richard Ojeda, who is the Democrat from Logan County. Good to see you, Senator.
Hey, thank you.
You are the nominee after a primary, and you're going to want to go to Washington. First of all, tell us who Richard Ojeda is. Give it a little bit snapshot of your background.
Well, Richard Ojeda is a person who was raised in Logan County, West Virginia, and afterwards I ended up going into the military. I'm retired 24 years, United States Army, and I come from a family of coal miners, so I understand what life is like in southern West Virginia. And when I retired, I taught school for 4 years at Chapmanville Regional High School and got into politics.
And you're married and have kids as well?
I'm married. I have 2 wonderful children, and we're just trying to help my area.
You've been a very outspoken state senator, especially for a freshman. You get a lot of headlines, and you're out there on a lot of the big issues. Why do you want to go to Washington, and what do you think you can accomplish there?
Well, I think that, we have not had a real voice in Washington, D.C. in quite some time, and I think that we need one. I tell people all the time that, this nation was built by the steel that come from the coal that come from our mountains. And we deserve better, and we haven't had anyone that has actually went there and fought to make sure that the citizens of the 3rd Congressional District can have something better, and that's got to change.
You're an interesting Democrat in that, and correct me if I'm wrong, you voted for President Trump to be President of the United States, correct? But
yes,
you've been sharply critical of him at times during his first 2 years in office. When you go to D.C., how do you work with the president that sometimes you support and sometimes you oppose?
Well, but see, that's the thing. It's if he's got a good idea, then I'm there. But I'm not scared to speak up when I think that things are not that good in terms of ideas, and I think that's what we need to have. That's how you figure out how you can work together to compromise and come out with the best way ahead.
One of the headlines that you were the most prominent in was the statewide teachers strike here for 9 days in West Virginia, and you were very much supportive of the teachers. Your opponent, Carol Miller, says at the end of the day, she voted too for the 5% pay raise for all state employees, including the teachers. And so, where do you guys differ on that?
Well, she waited until the last day, until they knew that the fight was over for them. I was there from the beginning, and the thing is I spent 4 years in the classroom working side by side with teachers and school service personnel, and I see the things that those people do, and the things that were being thrown at them, the Go 365, the bills that were going after seniority and things like that. That's unacceptable. These are people that mold the minds of tomorrow. These are the people that clean the classrooms, that drive our children to and from school, that cook the most decent meals that those kids eat in many cases. Not to mention create the next leader. And they deserve the utmost respect from each and every one of us, and they did not get that. And the only reason why at the end the other side decided to start coming on board is they knew that they lost and they had to.
Yeah. Should you not win this race, you're still back in the state Senate, you're in the middle of your term, would you support the governor's initiative for another 5% pay raise for all of those teachers, support personnel, and all state employees come January?
Yes, absolutely, but I support it now. Why are we waiting until after the election? Why is this hey guys, let's get to the next session and we'll do this? If we've got the money, then why don't we go ahead and take care of our teachers and school service personnel now? It's almost Christmas. Let's do something for them.
We're down to about a minute in this segment. You've also been a big supporter of medical marijuana in this state. Why?
Because medical cannabis has been proven to help people that suffer from multiple sclerosis, severe ADHD, post-traumatic stress disorder. 22 veterans are committing suicide every day in the United States of America, and we know that states that have allowed access to their patients have saw a 24% decrease in overdose, and this is something that we know can help. So I support it wholeheartedly. This is about helping people, healing people, and that's what I'm about.
As you mentioned, this state has among the highest percentage of veterans in the nation. It's not the highest, but it's one of the top 3 or 4 states, I think.
Per capita.
What are you seeing out there from your fellow veterans in terms of what you perceive as a need for medical cannabis for them?
Literally, they're for it. They realize that this is something that can help them. Veterans struggle greatly. All gave some gave all. But everybody who goes comes back with something, and that's a fact. And in some cases, it's worse than others. But this does help. States that are using it, veterans are seeing great results.
All right, we're going to talk about some other health care issues because the potential repeal of Obamacare is on the table, and what to do with the opioid crisis is still out there even after the president signed the new law this week. We're going to have another segment with State Senator Richard Ojeda, the Democrat candidate for Congress in District 3, right after this break. Don't go away.